Hi, hello and welcome everybody. It is Pohx again. So this is going to be, I guess, episode 2 of our dungeon guide, and we're going to go ahead and hit up Alakur Island, which is another one of my favorites. It's not like the most efficient dungeon to run by any means, but it's by no means a bad dungeon to run, and it's fun. It's got a nice scenery. So of course everything is scaled to my exact difficulty, and let's go ahead and launch it up. Alright, now one thing to note about Alakur Island is the first time that this dungeon unlocks, it is very difficult to run, and of course, you know, depending on where your prestige goes and whatnot, becomes a bit easier. So we're gonna switch over to plant trophies here. So let's swap them on, and let's start it. Again, the mobs in here hit pretty ridiculously hard. So this first pull, sometimes you can skip, sometimes you can't. If you jump over the edge here, whoops, you can kind of sometimes get it. It doesn't always work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pack and pull it here, but you don't actually need to do this at all, because you probably shouldn't do this. You can actually skip this pack entirely, and I'll show you that here in a second. I'm also just doing trophies. Now, the big guy is a pain in the ass because he sets little flowers on the floor. He also does this one thing where he summons like his flowers on his head and throws them at you, like this, and it hits for a decent amount. Now, to skip this pack, simply all you need to do is you just jump off the side from up here before you even aggro him. You just come right across and jump, and that's it. And that's how you skip that pack. Your next pack is just going to be white ads. You don't need to do anything. Just kill them. Absolutely no problem. Then you have a mini version of that 4 health bar, which is right here. This guy does the same thing, except he does something weird if you go melee. He, like, tramples you over, and it hits me for, like, a good, like, 60% of my life. So I always try to stay away from him. Just kill him, take the loot, and we're gonna move on. And then we've got one pack of these. Now, these ones are scary. They might just be white mobs, but they're ranged, and that's the problem, is anything that's white, that's ranged, destroys you in this game. So you gotta be really careful with that. And then up next, we've got the boss. So this boss is pretty straightforward. All he does is really auto attack. For the most part, it's a tank and spang fight. The only thing he does that's kind of fucked up is, one, he does that. He does this in Rage where he'll knock you out of channeling and knock you around. He does hit decently hard as well. He's got, I believe, a melee attack and a range attack. He does like a little spit throw, which is right there. But he's not that bad. Again, you just have to be able to survive the damage and deal the damage to get the healing orbs. There's nothing you really need to worry about. It's kind of just a sustained fight. What I like to do is, if you are having trouble, anytime he turns red, you just dash away. And then again, dash away. And then dash again. Now, he does get, like, insane movement speed. So, this is why, again, I say you kind of need sustain. If you can't do this fight, it's gonna suck ass. Although the next 2 fights are... I would say this is probably the hardest guy, depending on your scenario. Alright. So now we're gonna move across. What the hell is that? Someone's knocking on the door, boys. Alright. So moving up here, this is when you have one of the hardest pulls in here, I would say. This fucker right here, this poisonous Triffid, does more damage than any boss in this dungeon. So I'm gonna just hit him, and I'm gonna kite back here and just nuke him as much as I can. I'm gonna freeze him. I lied, I can't freeze him with that. And take a look at how much he does with his autos. He's ranged. Check this out. Once he hits me here. Okay, it might not look like it normally does more. What the fuck? Okay, well, no, they do hit hard. I guess I just have more HP. He also has a frontal cone like that. The reason why he's an asshole is, again, he's ranged, and he's a 4 times health bar. You usually don't find those too much when you're running dungeons. But he does hit much harder. I think the first time I was able to run this, he killed me in 3 hits. So I literally had to outrange everything on him. Alright, next up, we've got the next boss in this area. Now, whenever you initiate this fight, you pretty much get free damage for 20 seconds, like 15 seconds. So we're going to start this fight and just YOLO deeps right now. And the reason why is he's going to do this PB AoE right in front. You'll see him, he'll, like, I don't know, almost like impale the ground there. After this, he's going to chase you around. He doesn't have that far of an auto attack range. You can actually outrange him a bit. Whenever he decides to go down, he's summoning ads, so you save your AoEs, and you nuke right when they come up. These are the dudes you do not want to keep alive. You need to burst them down immediately. I guess for the sake of the video, I'll run in melee after his next ad phase, which should be right about now, just to take the hits to see how much they do. Come on, do your ad phase. Alright, here's the ad phase. Oh, that's not good. Alright, let's take a look and see. He just did it, so let's take a little slower. See if he's gonna do another ad phase or if he's gonna do his little explosion. Yeah, this is ad phase. Next up should be the explosion. It does a decent amount. You know, that was almost half my life. That's equivalent of like 3 to 4 auto attacks. So that's definitely not something you want to be in. Okay. Next up, you've got probably definitely the hardest pull in here. By far harder than any of the bosses. You've got the big fat ass and you've got the flower. You've got both of the ×4 health guys. Thankfully, you can just walk around them and you don't actually have to fight them whatsoever. You can literally just sidestep around and you can move on and you're good. Again, you've got another one of the ×4. So I'm going to actually just pull this guy over here. Not something that I would recommend doing at all. There's actually a chance I might actually rip here. See, my shield's about to come up. I'm good. I'm good now. But you can really just see how much damage the little poisonous Triffid really does, man. He's a naughty little bugger. That's what they'd say, right? Naughty little bugger. Can you freeze them? Let's see. Nope. Nope, cannot CC them. Okay, I think this is the last pull, actually, before the final boss, which I think the final boss is actually the easiest in here. Now, if you are having trouble, doing the dungeon, for example, like the mobs just hit you way too hard and you're ranged, again, you can literally outrange these guys. You can just sit all the way back here, and for the most part, they actually cannot hit you. You can just keep walking backwards. Just make sure you don't run into the pack of mobs that you skipped at all. Alright, next up, we've got the final boss in here, which again, I believe is the easiest. So, a good method for this guy is just constantly circle strafe him. So he's going to throw acid on the floor. If you look, he's going to put like these little pods of acid. And, oh, that's right, and he does ads. Didn't know he did them right off the bat. There you go, here's the pod of acid. Standing in it is not recommended. You can see it does quite a bit of damage if I were to sit here. That's definitely not something that you want to take to the face. But all you have to do is literally circle strafe. I don't even think this guy auto attacks you. I could go in his melee and see what he does. No? It's pretty much just the acid. He just throws it off his head. And then you've got the ad phase that comes up. So, of course, save your AoEs for the ads. Because in this game, again, the ads are the most scary phase of any fight. So, you know, just take it slow and easy. There's no rush on the fight. Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum. Bum, 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 ba-da-bum. And this should conclude the dungeon. Ba-dum-ba. That's pretty much about it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Of course, any questions you have, please, feel free to drop them down below. And of course, if you enjoy the video, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. That was really creepy. He just moved. And remember that I stream daily on twitch.tv/Pohx. So I hope you guys have a wonderful time. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Take care, everybody.